Hello everyone, Jen Patero here on Saturday, June the 5th, which means only 2 weeks left before I step on a virtual stage for the first time ever to compete in a fitness competition with UFE. And the way that I'm preparing for this is through a ketogenic diet. So hard to believe, only 2 weeks to go. Time has flown by. And for today, I thought maybe I would chat a little bit about mindset. I've talked about mindset before from a positive perspective and the mindset you need to have to overcome any obstacle or achieve any goal, fitness or otherwise. But today, I'm going to talk about something that has really surprised me. So when I decided to do this, I thought my biggest challenge would be the caloric deficit. So feeling hungry while maintaining my exercise and even pushing it harder and harder all the time. That's what I thought my biggest struggle would be. And if I'm perfectly honest, it hasn't been an issue. Not yet. Again, 2 weeks to go where calories will continue to decrease and intensity in my workouts will continue to increase. But so far, 2 weeks out, I feel great. I am not hungry, really, ever. Okay, so today, pushed myself. It was an intense cardio workout, and then I ran my 30 minutes on the treadmill. And I'll tell you, when I was done, I was pretty hungry. Like, I was looking forward to eating to the point where I had a bit of brain fog. I was trying to have a conversation with a girlfriend, and I told her it kind of feels like I'm drunk, but less the alcohol. Like, I can't drink, but my head just feels kind of foggy until I eat. But I just ate my meal and I feel stuffed, like I feel full, I feel good, and I will not feel hungry again until tomorrow, right before I'm about to eat and after an intense workout. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's a rest day. Anyways, I won't feel hungry. So I probably won't even feel hungry at all tomorrow because I don't have an intense workout. So that has not been a challenge yet. My challenge has been within the last few weeks, I am so in my head. I feel the mental challenge of this competition is way greater, far greater than the physical challenge for me. And it's interesting because when I signed up to do this, I recall having conversations with friends. I'm good with my weight. I'm happy where I am. I'm excited to lean out and highlight the muscle that I've built and everything I've been able to achieve on stage. I am excited to do that, but as soon as it's done, I reverse diet myself out of it. And if I wind up exactly back where I am when I started, I'm a happy girl. I was happy with my body. But as you get closer to the date, it does some crazy things to your head. Things I've never thought about and things I never thought I would worry about. Like, is my butt big enough? My back, is it strong enough? Oh, I've got to really push and do more cardio because my abs are like, it's amazing the way you start to pick apart your body. And it's ridiculous. It's craziness. But that is what has happened to me. And I overthink everything. So, I overanalyze things anyways. So I guess maybe I should have known that this would happen at this stage of the game. But it's really shocked me how in my head I have been over the last few weeks. And it's ebbs and flows. You've got good days, you've got bad days. But at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest challenge for me is the scale. And I also said from day one, it's not about the scale. I know I sat at 140 pounds for almost 2 years, and I knew my body was changing because my clothes fit differently. My body, I could see changes in my body. So I knew in my head, it's not about the scale. In fact, I believe the very first video I did, I talked about it not being about the scale. Celebrate the non-scale victories. And I thought I did a really good job of that. But now as we get close to show day, when I am not seeing the scale move, I get in my head completely. And, you know, last week we talked about bloating and trying to optimize that. I'm still working at doing that. I think I've got a pretty darn good handle on it, but still working. Even electrolytes and water balance, I'm still playing with that. And we're 2 weeks from show day. So I am in my head and stressing and worrying, which doesn't do good things, right? Because when you're stressed, you increase cortisol, a stress hormone, and then you're retaining more fluid. So I'm not doing myself any favors by worrying about it. The other thing, sleep. If I'm stressed and in my head, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and, oh, I can't go back to sleep. You need good sleep so that, again, your body's not stressed. You're not producing the cortisol, so you're not retaining water. So it's a vicious cycle, and it's not doing me any favors, especially not from the scale. And we'll chat a little bit about that, because I think it is the stress, some of the stress that I'm causing myself, but it is also some of those things like extra salt. Well, I guess it's mainly salt. It's still that electrolyte balance, which for me has been difficult to overcome. And it's been easy for me to track my macros and hit my macros bang on. Easy peasy. I plan it the week ahead, and whatever's on my tracker, that is what I eat. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me at all. I like to have the routine and the consistency. I don't mind eating the same thing every day. I know some people think that I'm crazy, but I think it again goes back to that relationship with food. It is just an energy, a fuel source for me. I really get no enjoyment out of it. When people ask what I'm looking forward to eating, I don't know. Like, I do want to go to the keg. I want a steak. I want a Caesar salad, and I want a glass of wine. I'm not excited to have any cake or anything out of the ordinary. It's all stuff that I could be eating right now, but I'm choosing not to for specific reasons. I don't know. It's the relationship with food, and I think being on a ketogenic diet, this is just sort of what's naturally happened, and I think it's a good thing. I don't care if I'm eating tuna and ground beef, and I eat it every day, same thing. Not bothering me at all. But when it comes to the water, from a day to day, I'm very inconsistent. Some days I grab a Tim Hortons tea. Other days I don't. Some days I have 3 cans of bubbly. Sometimes there are occasions, I want to have a 4th or a 5th. And then to try and be super specific with the amount of sodium and potassium I'm getting to balance out the amount of water I'm taking in has been a challenge. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at the scale. I up the electrolytes, and then the scale changes the next day. And I don't want to see a change in the scale. So I want to have minimal amount of electrolytes so that I can function properly. But so I'm in my head with the scale number, and I shouldn't be. So I had thought I was at a good place with my electrolytes based on the way that my muscles felt. But I mentioned to you too, I was still having a bit of like fogginess in the evening, and that wasn't quite right. So I upped the electrolytes, which then upped to the scale. But you know what? This past week, haven't had that brain fog, except like I say today, after an intense workout, I did have it then. But I think that's to be expected. anyways, it's been so eye-opening to me, all of this, where my head has gone, the head games I play, and the scale number. And at the end of the day, the scale number does not matter. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that more now than ever. Because yesterday morning, my scale weight was 123.2. Yesterday was also a ketogenic caloric refeed day for me. So I upped my calories and I upped my sodium by 500 milligrams. So this morning when I stepped on the scale, I weighed 125.2 pounds, up 2 pounds, okay? But then I did a workout. I told you it was an intense workout. I drank about a gallon of water, all things considered. I had sodium. I had all my electrolytes in there. At the end of my workout, I weighed 122.8 pounds. I had dropped, even though I had put more into my body. I mean, I was sweating, I guess, but I put more into my body. I weighed less at the end of that workout. And my body fat percentage is 9.2. Okay? So my scale weight is up by a lot. But my body fat percentage is the lowest it has ever been. So, just a word to the wise, it really is not about that number. The slightest, so yesterday, like I say, ketogenic caloric refeed day, I upped my fat to 140 grams and I upped my protein to 110. I also added 500 micrograms of salt. And what the purpose of that is to get me ready for the show. I want to sort of fill out my muscles and I want to fill out my muscles with the protein and the fat. And I also want to pull any extra water out of my skin, out of my muscles using the sodium. So we're playing with these electrolytes to make that happen for show day. And in doing so, it caused some water retention here. So anyways, it's blowing my mind, so wanted to share. Really, you guys, if you are on a weight loss journey and you see that scale go up, really think about what you ate the day before. It could be just a matter of an extra pickle. I kid you not. A little bit of extra salt from the pickle is going to cause your weight to go up potentially by 2 pounds. Just saying. Anyway, so that's my spiel about weight. So we know I'm at 125.2 pounds, kind of, not really, because after my workout, I was 122.8. And my body fat is now 9.2. Now moving on to my macros for next week, going to drop both protein and fat again. Fat is going to drop to 115 grams. This past week I was 120. And next week I'm also going to drop to 75 grams of protein. I was at 80 grams this past week. So both dropping by 5 grams each. Carbs stay the same at 10. Calories. My calories are going to average 1,418. So just a little bit over 1,400 calories for next week. And then I am going to do another ketogenic caloric refeed next Friday. And it will look a little bit different than it did this past Friday. We're going to up the fat and the protein for the refeed day. So for the refeed, I'm going to eat 145 grams of fat, and I'm going to eat 115 grams of protein. Again, just playing with these macros to see if we can optimize for show day. My calories on Friday are 1,871. So bumped up, I guess 450 calories from my average day next week. So again, give you a tiny bit of perspective there. This past week, ground beef was somewhere between 5 and I think one day I might have had 6 ounces of ground beef. And then the tuna, I switched to tuna. So thank you, Heather Martin, for your suggestion. Egg whites can also cause bloat. So this past week I swapped out my egg whites for tuna because I needed something that was basically all protein, no fat, just to make my macros work. And so I've been eating like I think one day I had 3/4 ounce of tuna. The max I think I had was 1.5 ounces of tuna with my ground beef. And then on my ketogenic caloric refeed day yesterday, I think I had 9 ounces of ground beef and 3 ounces of tuna. So not a huge difference. But certainly, man, did I ever feel full after that was done. And then I did my posing and thought, oh my goodness, my stomach is going to be so bloated. But anyways, it looked just fine. And I think everything worked well. But this next Friday, my next ketogenic caloric refeed will be just a little bit higher than it was last week. Anyways, that's a whole lot of information. I keep swearing, like promising that I'm going to make these videos shorter. Somehow I seem to make them longer. Hope it's useful. If it's not, please tell me. Tell me that I need to shut up and stop sharing quite so much. But I am just trying to throw out there my key learnings and hope that it is of benefit to somebody out there. Anyways, take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And have an awesome week. Gonna be a hot one. So enjoy, swim lots if you can, or hang out in some AC. I don't know. Anyways, enjoy, take care. Thank you so much. And until next Saturday, bye for now.